Today's video is sponsored by the team over at ASICmarketplace.com. With crypto mining hardware prices dropping, it's critical to find an online store you can trust with your ASIC purchases. The team at ASICmarketplace.com has you covered with some of the most competitive pricing on the market. No matter what brand you're looking for, ASIC Marketplace has it. To name just a few: Bitmain, Goldshell, 𝐒𝐡𝐨, �IB-Link, 𝐼POLO, Jazz Miner, and many more. There are no surprises with ASIC Marketplace. The price listed on their website includes shipping. Imagine that. Finally, ASIC Marketplace takes the buying experience to the next level by accepting cryptocurrency as payment directly on their store. Go check out ASIC Marketplace today via the link in this video's description down below, as well as save $110 at checkout with discount code 𝐻OBBYISTMiner. Do you guys remember this guy from the beginning of the last bull market? How about this guy from the early bear market? Well, check this out. No, it's not the Mini Doge II, even though it looks identical. It's actually the Mini Doge III. So in today's video, we're gonna take a little look down memory lane at the Goldshell Mini Doge Miners. All right, take a look. How many of you guys still have your original Goldshell Mini Doge box miner? Oh man, I can't remember. I've had this one for quite a number of years now. I remember when these things were such the hype. It was like, all right, we're gonna go ahead and wait in line on their website. Remember that? And like, you were limited to how many you could buy, and Goldshell would just drop them randomly, and then you'd like spread the word to your friends, and you go and pick one up, and they were, what would they go for, like $500 originally is what I'm trying to remember with these units. I cannot remember exactly, but I remember these were so much hype around these things. I mean, honest with you, this was my first introduction to an ASIC miner, was these Mini Doge models here. I mean, I never really, I never dreamed I'd get up to something like at a higher level here, like 100 terahash Bitcoin ASIC. I started down here in these little guys that used, 100, 200 watts total compared to 3,000 over here. But the Mini Doge box miner, I remember these things that early on during the last bull market. Oh man, and then moving on, remember? Not too long after they launched, VoskCoin went ahead and partnered with them. And guys, I thought I was so badass picking up one of these, because if you guys remember, when you'd buy one of the Mini Doges, there was a chance it could be the VoskCoin Tails edition. And these fans light up RGB, which looked so cool. All the same stats as the original Mini Doge. It was just a few months carried later, but it had RGB and it had the etchings on the side, and it made it so much more desirable. And unfortunately, these things became paperweights very quickly as we rolled through the bear market, or I'm sorry, through the bull market, because of the fact that so many other script Doge and Litecoin miners came out to go ahead and make them obsolete. And now, a few years later, these things make negative 20+ cents a day to run. They're pretty much great space heaters. So jumping ahead into the last bear market, or the current bear market, based off of what your thoughts are of the current dynamics right now and where we currently stand, it's up for debate amongst a lot of people. But this guy came out. And this here is the Goldshell Mini Doge II. Significantly more powerful than the original Mini Doge. It actually ended up having, look at that, 2 8-pins right there on the front of the unit. And then you have Ethernet there. This one, I don't think had wireless. Nope, no wireless on the back end side of this. No etching, but does have this little, I think this is called like the Goldshell Boxy, I think. Don't quote me. Character here. But this guy never had a chance to flourish at all, which was such a shame. It came out and wasn't profitable from day one at all. For, I don't even know what electric rates, but coming out early in the bear market, really, really tough for Goldshell. Honestly, felt really sorry for them. I mean, it pretty much was a beefed up original miner there, but used significantly more watts. And then we're kind of in this weird time period now, but this guy, no, it's not that guy. just without a sticker. If we take a look here, the team over at ASICmarketplace.com went ahead and sent me the Mini Doge Miner, the Box 3. And a little more powerful than its previous guy over here. All the same setup, 2 8-pins on it, Ethernet, system light, no wireless. Tough market to be in currently right now for script miners, but this unit is actually profitable. And yes, we're talking right around 10 cents that I'm judging this off of. So let's go ahead and jump over to the computer, take a little bit closer look at these 3 miners over the last few years, profitability, talking about price, and kind of how we got to where we are today with the Mini Doge 3. All right, so let's jump back quite a ways here and look at the Goldshell Mini Doge Miner. 185 mega hash. Woo! Hey, it was something back then, especially as a home miner. Now, if you were rocking L7s, you were in a whole nother league back when these things launched. I mean, as I said, traditional ASICs, full-size ASICs, weren't even in my scope then. It was GPU mining with a few of these box miners. I don't know about you guys. Did you guys pick up any of these? I know some of you guys had like 20 to 30 of these. You guys are nuts. But scrolling down here, give us a little metrics. 185 mega hash at 233 watts. And it's funny, I actually found my video from when I had gotten one of these originally here, was backdated over a year ago. Can I get a date? January 20th of 2022. So not even that long ago. I mean, now that I think about it, when this was released here, and looking at some of these metrics, it was making about $1.64 a day when you take the yield of Dogecoin and Litecoin. If you guys aren't familiar, it's a script miner. So it mines script and it's rewarded in Litecoin and Dogecoin. But yeah, I mean, this was quite some time back, right around the 18th of January that we did go ahead and calculate this out. And the value was pretty crazy to see that, like, you were able to do in a week $11.49. That doesn't even exist today. All right, so let's jump over to mine the ASIC. And over here, if we find our original Goldshell Mini Doge Miner, we have 15 cents set currently right now. As our electric rate, I used to set 10, but it was like, we're not even close to that anymore. And you guys can see, it makes 32 cents a day. It cost 84 cents to run, giving us negative 52 cents daily. Now, we're quite some time past when this thing was really in its prime. Not that it was anything crazy, but as a home miner, it was perfect. Do I recommend the Goldshell Mini Doge miners? Maybe. If you could find them on eBay for really, really cheap, awesome. Nobody really has them in stock anymore here at ASICmarketplace.com. You guys can see they're not in stock. Wish we had a dark mode, but that's okay. But gauging all of this, if you could find one of these for super cheap off of eBay or Facebook Marketplace or offers up, put it in a room during the winter as a space heater and you gain a little bit of yield, job done. Now, the Goldshell Mini Doge II is a little bit different of a story. When this launched, I think the date, what was the date of this? March 2023, so not too long back here. It was not profitable from day one. The bear market, and this wasn't specifically for the miners' fault, granted, not super efficient. You know, during this time period, March of 2023, everybody was chasing efficiency. The lower the watts, the better. Low power mode was king. And unfortunately, this unit just didn't have the horsepower behind it then that the Mini Doge III does now. We'll talk about that here in a minute. So these were never profitable, unfortunately. And I remember doing a video with 𝐚𝐫𝐲𝐬𝐺. We did some comparisons. We did a video if you just mine to Litecoin pool. That would only pay you out in Litecoin. It would do all the conversions. Or you could do a traditional pool like DX pool, which was Litecoin and Dogecoin. And then finally, you could get paid out in just Doge if you wanted to, with unminable. And the challenge was even when you looked at profitability per day and what this thing was making then when we did this video, and I'll put links to a few of these videos down below if you guys are interested in checking out these original videos, This one was actually back in June. I feel like it wasn't even that long ago that the Mini Doge II came out. There was just no profitability there with these units. So once again, they could fulfill the role as a space heater or as a spec miner. You could definitely, you're willing to pay the electric per day, which isn't astronomical, and build that bag. But a lot of people would argue, just buy the coin then, which there's nothing wrong with that. You could go either one avenue or another with the Mini Doge II. And the Mini Doge II, if you're interested in some of the metrics here, 420 mega hash at 400 watts. All right, so the Mini Doge II, a little bit different of a story with profitability. 73 cents a day. All right, a little bit better than the original Mini Doge. $1.44 a day. Whoa. Well, you gotta remember, we're at 400 watts versus what it was like mid 200s on the original Mini Doge. And then our profitability per day is actually even more or less, should we say, of negative 71 cents. So as I said, this one's really tough. Now this did have two different modes. If you guys scroll down here, later on we came out with our low power mode here. So our hash rate 335 at 260. Okay, pretty dang good. Significantly more than the original Mini Doge, which was 185 at that mid 200s. Okay, but when you're looking at 420 mega hash at 400 watts, ooh, that was definitely tough. So finally, the Mini Doge III, and we actually have this unit up and running currently right now. If I jump over, it's been up for a number of minutes here, about 37 minutes total at 672 mega hash. And now the nice thing is about this miner is you do have your regular hash rate mode and low power mode. And I feel like this is the new norm, right? As home miners, it's essential to have the ability to gain that efficiency with low power mode. And if we go over and take a look at this unit, you can see right here on ASIC Marketplace, they are in stock. Two modes discussed. First one is the 650 mega hash at 400 watts. And this one just dropped within the last few weeks here. Now, over on Mine the ASIC, we can take a look at the two different modes. The first mode is the 500 mega hash mode, which is our low power mode. So 500 mega hash at 260. So right there, we are quite significantly higher in our performance versus the original Mini Doge that came out years before at only 185 mega hash. 260. All right, cool. Respectable. At 15 cents though, if it's our electric rate, not very profitable. You can see 87 cents of income, 94 cents electricity, 7 cents of just profit. Now, if we drop it down to 10 cents, which is pretty rare, you break even. So you really got to have a decent electric rate just to come out on top on these units here. Now, if we jump to the regular hash mode, 650 mega hash, it's $1.14 a day. Woo! Electricity is $1.44. Oh man. So our profit is still negative at negative 30 cents. Now we can go ahead and crank this down, and at about 10 cents, okay, cool, you're making 18 cents a day. That's really hard to swallow. So do you buy yourself a Goldshell Mini Doge III? Well, for avid miners, probably not, right? You got a friend or family member looking to get into mining, this may be a perfect avenue to go. I mean, you can set these up. The GUI's super friendly. You can set these up in 5 minutes, honestly. It's not that difficult. Allows you to participate in mining, really step into it. It's not super expensive when it comes down to your electric. Regardless of your electric rate, you're not putting out that much per month, and allows you to build that bag and kind of get hooked. Because I remember when I spoke with Bitsby Trippin over a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, interviewed him, he had talked about the fact that like these new miners coming in, the moment they get their first deposit in their wallet of this online digital cryptocurrency, they're hooked. And this may be a great entry into it. Right now, you can see it runs between $779 and $819 based off of with or without the power supply. So it does have a decent price tag with it. It's always hard to spend that kind of money on something that isn't making dollars a day. And I totally get it. Good space heater for right now, right? Stack a little extra Dogecoin, Litecoin, maybe that's perfect for you. I'll put links to everything we discussed in today's video down below for your convenience. Guys, I appreciate it. I'd love to hear from you guys. Did you have one of the Mini Doges? Do you still have the original guy? Did you get a VoskCoin one? What about the Mini Doge II? Or are you thinking about the Mini Doge III? It's always a challenge as a home miner to take that first step. Maybe the Mini Doge III is good for you. Well guys, if you enjoyed today's video and want to be notified when I drop my next video, go ahead and click that bell, and I'll see you guys next time.